It was a tough interview, a fair but tough interview from George Stephanopoulos, who pushed Biden on multiple occasions, on multiple topics, but also was quite respectful in the way that he was handling quite a delicate situation as well. Joe Biden doubling down on the fact that he had a bad night, saying that he was sick. He said that he had a doctor that was with him, give him a COVID test, and ultimately that proved to be negative. And it was a combination of that and exhaustion that was the reason behind his bad debate performance. Now, George Stephanopoulos then pushed him and said, well, you had 12 days between that busy schedule you had in early June and then 6 days of prep at Camp David. Was that not enough time? Joe Biden said that he still was tired despite that long length of break that he had. And then when it came to the neurological issues, George Stephanopoulos also pushed him on that, asking whether he would take a cognitive test and release the results of that. Biden didn't say yes or no. He said that the presidency itself was a cognitive test that he takes every single day. Stephanopoulos also then said whether Biden was more frail now than he was 4 years ago during the last election. Biden said that he wasn't, but I think anybody who was looking at the 2019 debates to the debate that we saw last Thursday would see a marked difference between the Biden that we saw then and the Biden that we see now, which led Stephanopoulos to then ask whether he had the legs to go for the next 4 years. Biden said that he had the legs and that he could just look back on his achievements over the previous 3.5 years of his presidency to prove that he had what it took. So Biden trying to pivot more towards the issues, but Stephanopoulos really kept on that point of his age as well before moving on to the polls. Now, the polls see Biden behind in most of the polls, it must be said. And Biden said that he didn't agree with those polls. So that might be something that some Democrats would find some worry in, whether Joe Biden is in touch with the average voter and what the average voter is experiencing during this election cycle. He was then asked how he would feel if he ignored those polls, continued on to November, then lost and had to see Donald Trump be invested in January. And he said, I'll feel as long as I give it my all and did the best job I know I can do. That's what this is about. However, it must be said, the Democrats that I'm talking to don't really see it that way at all.
Fraser Jackson reporting.